Dear child, it has been happening in small, ordinary moments, when the room is finally quiet and your thoughts get louder. When you scroll past another voice promising peace, clarity, healing, and you feel both drawn and tired. You feel like bettereds. You wart what you spotted what might happen if you actually listen. Dear heart, the waiting is over. Not because time ran out, not because there's some cosmic deadline breathing down your neck, but because you're ready now, more ready than you think. I need to tell you some things I've been holding close, waiting for the moment when you'd be able to hear them without running. That moment is now. And I know urgent sounds alarming, like something's wrong, like you're in trouble, like I'm about to deliver news that will unsettle everything. But that's not what this is. Urgent doesn't always mean crisis. Sometimes it means timely. Sometimes it means the season for silence is ending, and the season for truth is beginning. And we've arrived at that threshold. You and me right here. Beloved, you've been living with questions for so long that they've become familiar, almost comfortable. Questions about your purpose. Questions about whether you're on the right path. Questions about why certain doors keep closing while others refuse to open. You've gotten used to not knowing. You've made peace, or at least a truce with the fog. But that fog, it wasn't meant to be permanent. It was a mercy, a shelter while you were still becoming strong enough to see clearly. Because some truths, when you're not ready for them, feel like burdens. But when you are ready, they feel like keys. And you're ready now. My child, the first thing I need you to know, and I mean really know, not just intellectually agree with, is that you haven't been wandering. I know it feels that way. I know when you look back at the last few years it looks like a crooked line, like detours and dead ends, like time lost. But you haven't been lost. You've been led. Every turn that felt wrong at the time, it was taking you somewhere necessary. Every season that felt like stalling, it was formation. You weren't spinning your wheels. You were putting down roots in soil you didn't recognize yet. And now those roots are what will hold you when the wind comes, when the opportunities come, when the calling becomes clearer and more demanding than ever before. You needed the wandering to prepare you for the arrival. Beloved family, these messages are not just videos. They are prayers reaching hearts. If you feel led to help us continue this work, the support link is in the description and comment box. Your support helps keep this light shining. Dear heart, the second thing you need to know is about the thing you've been avoiding. You know what I'm talking about. That decision, that conversation, that leap you've been standing at the edge of for longer than you care to admit. You've been telling yourself you're waiting for a sign for more clarity, for the fear to go away. But the fear isn't going away. Not before you move. Courage doesn't come first. It comes during. And the sign you've been waiting for, this is it. Not a bolt of lightning, not an audible voice, not some miraculous external confirmation that removes all risk. Just this quiet, persistent knowing that you can't shake, the one that wakes you up at night, the one that sits with you in the in-between moments and whispers you know what you need to do. You do know you've known for a while, you're just afraid of what it will cost. And I'm not going to lie to you, it will cost something. Every real step forward does. But what it gives you will far outweigh what it takes, precious one. The third thing I need to tell you is about the person who hurt you, the one you've been carrying, not in your arms but in your chest. You forgave them, or you tried to. You said the words, you tried to move on, but every now and then, the wound reopens, and you wonder if something's wrong with you, if you're failing at forgiveness, if you're supposed to be over it by now. But forgiveness isn't amnesia. It's not pretending it didn't happen. It's not letting someone off the hook while you stay stuck on it. Forgiveness is releasing your right to make them pay for what they did. And you've done that. But you haven't done the next part yet. The part where you stop punishing yourself for not being over it faster. Healing has its own pace, and yours is not too slow. You're allowed to still feel it. You're allowed to still be tender there. You're allowed to take your time rebuilding trust, rebuilding boundaries, rebuilding yourself in the wake of what they did. And while you're doing that, I'm with you. Not disappointed, not impatient, just present, holding the space while you find your footing again. Beloved, the fourth thing is about your calling. You've been wondering if you missed it, if it passed you by while you were distracted or afraid or dealing with everything else life handed you. You haven't missed it. Callings don't have expiration dates. They evolve. They grow with you. They wait while you become the person who can carry them, and the version of the calling you had 5 years ago, it wouldn't fit the person you are now. You've outgrown it. Not in a bad way, in the way a tree outgrows a pot. What you're being called to now is bigger, deeper, more aligned with the truth of who you've become through everything you've survived. And it's going to ask more of you than the old version would have. More vulnerability, more courage, more trust that you can handle it, even when you don't feel ready. But you can. You absolutely can. My child, the fifth thing is hard to say. Not because it's bad news, but because I know you've been hoping for something different. That relationship you've been praying about, the one you want restored, the one you keep giving second chances to, the one you're convinced could still work if they would just change. It's not going to happen the way you want. Not because I don't care about your longing, not because I'm withholding something good, but because I see what you can't see yet. I see that staying in that dynamic costs you more than you realize. It costs you peace. It costs you clarity. It costs you the energy you need to step into what's waiting for you. And what's waiting for you requires your whole heart, not just the leftover pieces after you've spent yourself trying to fix something that the other person isn't willing to fix. I know that hurts to hear. I know you wanted me to change them, to soften them, to make them see you the way you deserve to be seen. But I don't override people's choices. Not yours, not theirs. And their choice right now is not to meet you where you are. So the kindest thing I can do for you is help you stop waiting for them. Help you grieve what won't be. Help you release the version of the future that included them changing, so you can turn toward the version that includes you, whole, free, and available for what's actually yours. Dear heart, the sixth thing I need to tell you is about your body. You've been at war with it for years, criticizing it, resenting it, wishing it were different, smaller, stronger, less tired, less broken. And I need you to stop. Not because your body is perfect, but because it's yours, and it's been carrying you through everything. Every hard day, every panic attack, every sleepless night, every season you didn't think you'd survive. Your body held you through all of it. And instead of gratitude, you've given it criticism. Instead of care, you've given it contempt. It's time to change that. Not through some grand transformation. Not through finally achieving the version of your body you think will make you acceptable. But through small acts of kindness. Resting when you're tired. Feeding yourself when you're hungry. Moving in ways that feel good. Not punishing. Listening to what your body is telling you instead of overriding it. Your body is not your enemy. It's not something to conquer. It's the home you live in, and it deserves to be treated with tenderness, beloved. The seventh thing is about the dream you let go of. The one you stopped talking about because it felt too foolish, too big, too impossible. You didn't kill it, you buried it, thinking that if you ignored it long enough it would stop haunting you. But it hasn't. It's still there waiting, and I'm here to tell you it's time to dig it up. Not to pressure you, not to add one more thing to your plate, but to remind you that the dream was never just yours. It was a whisper I planted, a seed I intended to grow, and the season for planting is over. Now is the season for tending. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You don't have to make some massive leap. You just have to stop pretending the dream doesn't matter, because it does. And every time you dismiss it, you dismiss a part of yourself that's essential to who you're becoming. Precious one, the eighth thing is about rest. You're so tired. Tired in a way that sleep doesn't touch. Tired in your bones. Tired in your soul. And you've been powering through because that's what you do. Because people are counting on you. Because you don't know how to stop without feeling guilty. But I'm giving you permission. Permission to rest without earning it. Permission to say no without justifying it. Permission to stop before you're completely empty. You're not a machine, you're not invincible. You're human. And humans need rest. Not as a luxury, as a necessity. So take it. Not someday. Not when everything is finished now. Before your body demands it in ways you can't ignore. Rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. My child, the ninth thing is about what you think you should be by now. You have this image in your mind of where you're supposed to be. More successful, more stable, more spiritually mature, more settled. And because you're not there yet, you feel like you're failing. But that image, that idea of where you should be, it was never mine. It's a composite of other people's timelines, other people's definitions of success, other people's paths that were never meant to be yours. And measuring yourself against it is destroying you, because you're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be for the story I'm writing with your life. A story that doesn't look like anyone else's. A story that unfolds at its own pace. A story that's beautiful, precisely because it's yours. So stop comparing. Stop measuring. Stop punishing yourself for not being further along on a journey that was never yours to begin with. You're doing better than you think, dear heart. The 10th thing I need to tell you is the hardest one. And it's this. You've been waiting for me to fix everything. To swoop in and rearrange your circumstances. To remove the obstacles. To make the path smooth. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm not fixing your circumstances. I'm equipping you to navigate them. I'm not removing the obstacles. I'm giving you the strength to climb over them. I'm not making the path smooth, I'm walking it with you. Because smooth paths don't build character. They don't build depth. They don't build the kind of faith that holds when everything shakes. And I'm not interested in giving you an easy life. I'm interested in giving you a meaningful one. A purposeful one. A life where you know, deeply know that you can handle hard things because you've already handled them. And you have every single thing that tried to break you. You survived it. And the things ahead of you, the ones you're afraid of, you'll survive those too. Not because you're strong enough on your own, but because you're not on your own, beloved. Everything I've just told you, it's a lot. I know. And you don't have to process it all at once. You don't have to fix everything today. You don't have to have answers to questions you didn't even know you were supposed to be asking. Just sit with it. Let it settle. Let it sink in. Let yourself feel whatever comes up. Relief, resistance, fear, hope. All of it is welcome. And when you're ready, when you've had time to absorb what's been said, we'll talk about what comes next. But for now, just know this. Everything I've told you isn't meant to overwhelm you. It's meant to free you. Free you from the lies you've been believing. Free you from the waiting that's been keeping you stuck. Free you from the shame that's been stealing your peace. The truth is a gift. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when it disrupts the story you've been telling yourself. Because the story you've been telling yourself, it's too small. And you, precious one, were made for something bigger. Not bigger in the loud, public, impressive way. Bigger in the quiet, deep, true way. The way that changes you from the inside. The way that ripples out into every relationship, every decision, every moment of your life. That's what's ahead. Not perfection, not ease, but depth, purpose, alignment with who you really are. And it starts here, with the truth, with everything I've told you, with your willingness to receive it, sit with it, and eventually act on it. My child, you're going to be okay, better than okay. You're going to look back on this moment, this conversation, this turning point, and you're going to see it for what it really was. Not a crisis, not a reckoning, but a beginning. The moment when everything started to make sense. The moment when the fog lifted just enough for you to see the next step. And then the next. And then the next. Until one day you'll realize you've traveled miles from where you were when you first heard these words. And you'll be grateful for the urgency, for the truth, for the moment I stopped holding back and told you everything, because it changed you. Not into someone else, into more of who you've always been. And that, beloved, is what you've been searching for all along. Not a new life, your real one, the one that's been waiting for you to step into it fully, without apology, without hesitation, without the weight of all the lies you've been carrying. It's time, not someday, now, and I'll be right here walking with you, every step of the way. Amen. Beloved family, your support is more than help, it is faith in action. Because of you, these messages continue to reach hearts. May the Lord bless you, guide you, and stand with you in every season.